I do that on my iPad all the time at night. I'll sit there and watch everybody, and I go in there, I start typing stuff, and then you guys know how these phones and stuff work. It says whatever it wants, and you're like, oh, close. I look like a retard. Herbisaurs and the Beer Keggers are up next. So let's look at. We don't have a whole lot of opportunity here to change out players. Let's see if anybody needs a break. Jose Stu will be up. We got Kapowie still, who's jacked right now. Look at that. Mojo is jacked. KungfuBeer's on fire. Nail Clipper's locked in. Dirty Kurt's on fire. Modern Hinky's jacked. Mariana Beer's jacked. We have Woodsman on fire, and Balls is on fire. So we're just going to stick with everybody because, everybody's in here, and they're ready to play. Thanks so much for enjoying the commentary. It is fun to do it. It also is frustrating because you're trying to make the game do what you want it to, and at the same time, you just have to roll with it. So here we got the Herbisaurs are at the Beer Keggers. So this is the Beer Keggers Stadium, everybody. I see each and every one of you out there right now, and I appreciate y'all being here, especially on a day like today, Easter Sunday, where you had many other choices to go. So free tickets, season tickets for you guys. Come back whenever you want. Annabella Stokes is going to be first up, facing Jose Stu, is today's pitcher for the Beer Keggers. That gets popped out to Mariana on second. She's going to simply fire that off to first after she checks her sleeve. Makes it just in time. Out number one as Dolph Steak. No homers, no RBIs with a 0.67 average. And if you guys know what that means it's shit. However, doesn't mean he can't home run on Jose Stu, who sends it out to Beer at shortstop and picks it up out of the dirt, fires it off to first.
21, the first baseman.
And then now we have Manley up. Brent Manley, their first baseman. We'll be facing Stu here with 2 away in the first inning. That one gets popped out foul for strike number 1. Here's Stu selecting his pitch carefully. That goes right to Beer. It's like no effort there. Goes right into her mitt. Deep hauls that in. That's out number 3, retiring the Herbisaurs. It's Herbisaurs or Herbivores. It doesn't really matter. It's the team with the H in the dinosaur logo. They're in now out the field, and they're going to be pitching first up. 607 average, 3 homers and 11 RBIs. Big Slick, balls deep. Who gets pushed out of the batter box, but not intimidated. Going to smash that just past the first baseman. He's out on first, and he's going to hold up there as they throw it to second. Well, here's Woodsman, 682 average, 6 RBIs, but no homers yet this season in game number 5, who gets ready to smash the shit out of this thing. He lets that first one curve on the outside for ball number 1. Runner on first. He does hit that one a little bit too late, so that's the first foul, strike number 1. He does hit the shit out of that. That's going to land. I meant to say hell, but for some reason shit came out. So here's Woodsman, who's headed to third. He's not going to make it. Nope, he don't have the wheels to get out of there in time. If we had continued, we probably could have slid in and made it with that error on third baseman. But nevertheless, he forced balls in for a score as Mariana Beer comes up to the plate and smashes the first one foul. That was a weird-looking ball as it kind of did all kinds of weird things. So she's wanting to hit that right down the third base line as everyone is going that way foul. 1 and 2 with 1 away. That one, she gets a piece of it. That's going to be picked up by the right fielder. That's out number 2. No runners on as Bojack had gotten pickled out. So with 2 outs, Mr. Reliable's up. Has a homer in his last game. He sends that out to right field, so that puts him securely on first base. That brings up Dirty Kurt, who's hoping to get his Best Buy privileges returned to him. And that depends what he does right here with 2 away, and Bojack's on first. Well, that's not going to... Oh, well, Dirty Kurt don't have the speed to get there, so it is out number 3. His privileges are still suspended So Dirty Kurt, you need to start going somewhere else rather than Best Buy. Henry Hamster is going to be the first at-bat at the top of the second for the Herbivores. Morton Stanberg is going to follow.
Now batting, number 10,
357. So kabang! Average with 1 homer. Now facing Stu. Of course, a 357 is actually a revolver, so it wouldn't make the shotgun sound. That's okay, everybody. So here we go. We pick it up. Beer's going to pick it up at short. Fired off the first. Out number 1. As we round off to Morton Stanberg. 286 averages, 2 RBIs from the Herbivores. Facing Stu for the first time this season. That's going to get tipped out to left, and Big Slick's all over that. Thank goodness he actually grabbed it and not dropped it. As Juan Rojas is out there with his pretty sweet glasses. He's ready to knock the hell out of this one. And this guy's gotten so many homers off me last season, and Stu, as a matter of fact, has pitched to him even. As you see, he's swinging for the fences there. So Stu's got to be careful here because this guy wants a fastball so he can hit it in the next week. So instead, Stu's doing all kinds of these weird pitches and causing him to look. And that, just like that, if you don't give him heat, he's going home. No ice cream. Beer Keggers retire the Herbivores. No runs scored top of the second. Nail Clipper Flippers coming up first with the Silver Fox. KungfuBeer on deck.
Now batting, number 99.
The 6.67 average with 9 RBIs himself and no homers yet. Here's Nail Clipper Flipper, who's playing third today. Smashes out over third. That's going to be foul because it passed third base line, which technically would be inbounds, but it landed outside of the line, and apparently in this game they consider that a foul ball. As long as the ball actually travels past third base inbounds, it is then a playable ball, unless it goes out before third base. There's Beer, who gets tapped out right there on first because he was too worried about explaining how the baseball works rather than playing how the baseball works, which is fine. Got a long ways to go here in this game. So as Sidewinder Kapow comes up, Zebra's favorite player of all time. Kapow sends out the second. Here's the double play. And just like that, thanks to Zebra's favorite player, the Beer Keggers have no runs on the board. Well, they have 1, I'm sorry, but no run in that inning. And now they're going back out to field for Milo Stewart, who's first at bat with Fiona Clark coming up next.
Now batting, number 23.
All right, Z, you can blame Marlo. His fault. I think he has a thing going on with Kapow anyways. They're trying to work us out of this game. Here's the first pitch. That one's going out in the stands. So Stu's selecting his second one. You can see there's not a whole lot of power. Let's hit a fastball. Let's see if no power can knock this out of the park. I'm sure it can. So Bojack Woodsman watches that one go down the line, but it's out. So it's out of the in-play area, so it's a foul ball. But with 2 strikes, let me see. The speed of this person is pretty fast, so let's throw in something challenging here. A fork ball. And he reaches and grabs the fork ball and puts it in a salad as Reliable fields that out at center. 250 average, 0 home runs, 2 RBIs. Fiona Clark, who also had a wonderful season last year against the Beer Keggers, is now facing Jose Stu. First one is punched out, line drive foul. Strike number 1, 1 away. Stu catches her swinging and missing on that one. She's looking for some speed there. And same thing there as he sends in the slider. Clark's pissed off. She's upset with herself, as she should be, as Gem Qualita, their pitcher, with a 000 average, meaning she has not played yet batted this season, or gotten on base, I should say, faces Stu. So that goes out to Beer, who dives for it, doesn't quite reach it because too far away. She didn't do one of her Superman dives that covers half the field. So Annabella Stokes is up next, who has faced Stu today. 0 for 1 today, so that means she got out on her last at-bat. Runner on first, 2 away. First one gets tipped up in the air, and Dirty Kurt and Mariana Beer are out there to pick it out. And out number 3 happens. No runs scored for the Herbisaurs. Beer Keggers are sending their pitcher, Jose Stu, up first. His first at bat today. Sorry, not sorry.
Now batting, number 3.
500 average. Not sure. Oh, that means he got on base one of 2 times. And that's going to be an out, number 1.
Now batting, number 7.
I thought that might land before it got there, but the 500 average goes down as Big Slick's up. Well, that goes just past the second baseman, who gallantly tries to pull that out of the air, Mariana Beer style. And that puts Big Slick on first. Woodsman's up. He golfs that one out of the dirt. This is a double play right here. Woodsman definitely doesn't have the gas to get there. So the bottom of the third, the Beer Keggers aren't doing what they've been doing of stacking runs up on the board. It's a close game so far. 0-1.
Now batting,
With Dolph Stake up.
The center fielder.
And so here we have Dolph Stake facing Stu. Stu's trying to find the right pitch. Like I said, Dolph did pretty well against the Beer Keggers last season. The first one drops in for strike number 1. That catches him hoping for something fast, as Stu has to sneeze. Let him wipe his nose and everything before we tell him what the next pitch we want him to throw is. That goes foul. Now he's got to scratch his butt. So now he has 2 strikes, no balls for Stake. Stu selects something. Fool this guy. That doesn't fool him, but that does go right out to Big Slick at left field. And that's out number 1. As Grunt Manley is back up. 1 homer, 3 RBIs on the season. But 0 for 1 today so far against Stu. That comes in on the outside edge of the plate for strike number 1. Howie sends a signal. Second pitch goes foul right over the back there into the stands. That one gets tapped out to Beer. Short. He fires it off to first. That's out number 2. The third batter of this inning so far, Henry Amster. I was calling him Adam Schiff. He's an American politician. It looks just like him, in my opinion, with his eyes so wide. So this is Adam Schiff here. Amster does smash the shit out of these things, so we really got to be careful. As the pitch comes in, he lets that first one go and strike. He's still surprised it even got there, apparently. You look at him. He does hit that one out to the Woodsman, who picks it up, fires it off, and out number 3 as Stu makes it to first just in time to tap the bag. Top of the 4th, no runs scored for the Herbisaurs. Mariana Beer's up first for the Beer Keggers, who need something to make this game a little bit more, whatever the word for it is. That's the word I'm looking for. You guys could throw your own words in there. We're trying to make this game blank. She hits that, almost knocks the block off the pitcher. He makes it to first and stays on first. Now we got Mariana on first base as Reliable is up here. He doesn't care if the pitch is thrown. He'll just do whatever he wants to do. And that's one of the things he wants to do. I'm sending Beer back to first base as that one got fielded out at center. So 1 away as Dirty Kurt, so angry that his Best Buy privileges has been removed, is really planning on doing something here. And that something is to float it over second base, out in the pocket. So he'll pass first, headed off to second. Beer's passing third, headed home. And Dirty Kurt is going to slide in at second head first for a double RBI.
Number 99, the third baseman.
1 for 1 today. Now Clipper Flipper is back up. He punches that right down the line. It rolled out just too much. So that's going to be foul. As these curves are coming in, kind of throwing him off a little bit. That's a golf swing. He's going to be out at first. As Dirty Kurt slides into third.
Now batting, number 71, the shortstop.
So with a run scored on this inning, here's the Silver Bomber. And bombed it right into the third baseman's mitt. And that's with one run added. 2-0 is the current score. Herbisaurs are bringing Morton Stanberg up at the top of the fifth. This has not been a typical Beer Keggers slugfest, as you can see. This has been more of a game. So at the top of the fifth, we got Stu back up at the mound again. He's doing pretty well. He looks like he's holding in there. And he's going to be facing Stanberg again. First pitch comes in. Ball just on the outside. Deviant showed up. Hey, Deviant, what's up, man? This is for you today, as you have to have your baseball. And I'm butchering it up just in time for Easter Sunday. As that pitch goes, and everybody's trying to pick it up. Everybody's running for it, but he's still out at first as the Woodsman stretches out. Hopefully he didn't pull his hamstring reaching out that far. That's Rojas. Well, we had to let Stu get that big sneeze out. Apparently the dust is getting to him. He's still hanging in there, like I said, so he's going to pitch to Rojas here. He's going to throw this curveball, and what's going to see what happens here. Well, he's going to top that straight in the air. And we have Kapowie who's waiting for it. So she hauls that in behind the plate, sort of. That tip is going to be out number 2 for the Herbisaurs. Milo Stewart's up. Their shortstop does have a little bit of power, but more so has some speed. So he's expecting something fast. That goes right out to Reliable at center. Let's go ahead and pick it up, send it to second. That puts a runner on for the Herbisaurs.
Now batting,
Fiona Clark's going to follow. 2 RBIs, 2.31 average. As I mentioned, 0 for 1 on the day against Stu. Still a threat. That goes off to Dirty Kurt. He's going to fire it at second. I don't know why we didn't just throw it to first. Not Dirty Kurt. That's Nail Clipper Flipper on third who sent it off to second. We should have just fired it off the first for the third out, but we did not do that. Signals were crossed there from the management, and the players are only doing what they're told. Therefore, we get what we get. That catches her swinging. Jem swings at that one and misses. That's 2 strikes, 2 away. Runners on first and second. That catches, we're just going to throw it to first this time. Stu picks it up and says, let me just get the first. Third out. And that's going to do it again for the Herbisaurs with 0 runs on the board. The Beer Keggers are sending our favorite, Blaine Marlowe, Sidewinder Kapowie.
Now batting, number
Hashtag
13,
Sidewinder. And she's already starting to wind up. She hits that one foul. That gets punched out past second base. Kapowie's on first and holds up. Now we got Jose Stu, our pitcher, up. 0 for 1 today, 400 average on the season with that last out that he had. Lowered his average to 500. That goes out in the same place. And we sent Kapowie back to first. So Stu loves hitting it out there. And right where the left fielder is ready for him. But here's Big Slick, who's on fire right now. He swings just a bit late, sends out and then fans. He'll sign that after the game, he says, everybody, whoever picked it up. That goes down third base. That's going to be foul as it curves out of bounds past the line. Second baseman tries for that, and it looks like Balls is going to get there in time. He must have had a lot of protein today as he barely makes it to first in time. Runners on first and second as Woodsman comes up. He swings up high for that one. Go backwards, go backwards, go backwards, go backwards. Powie makes it back to second. If we handed a sender back, she'd still be standing on third, wondering why she's out. But she made it back to second in time. And Woodsman's out with Mariana Beer up. 2 away. Runners on first and second. Out. That's out at center. 3 outs. So no runs scored at the bottom of the 5th for the Beer Keggers. Herbisaurs sending Annabella Stokes up first. If you see, the next 3 batters are 0 for 2 today. So that's promising, but that's all it is.
Now batting, number 29, the second baseman.
Okay, so here's Stu. Let's see, we're at the top of the 6th. We'll leave Stu in there. He's still got plenty of energy. So number 3 is going to stay as Stokes gets the first pitch sent to her as a strike, swinging and missing. Pitch number 2 comes in the inside corner of the plate for strike number 2. Let's see. Let's throw another fastball. Okay, well, that goes to Powie. That's a foul because she picks it up behind the plate. She should have let it go inbounds just a little bit. The potent offense is being kept in check today, says Deviant. Yep. Or at least against this team. This team's giving us a run for our money. So here's a flipper who catches that for the 3rd. That's not the 3rd out. That would be an out. I think it's the 2nd out then, right? So it was a tip that is still in play. And the 1st out, actually, was now Clipper Flipper, who caught that out of bounds, out of the area of play. And now we got Dolph Stake. Pain in my ass last season. Here's Dolph. Gets picked up by Beer, sends it off the 1st. That's out number 2.
Now batting, number 21, the first baseman.
So Grunt Manley's up. And there's all kinds of teddy bears being talked about in the chat. Got me a little confused as Stu throws the first pitch. You guys see when I did that teddy bear to Barry on that stream that one time? I was in that clothing store and he walked in there. I'm like, hey. All right, so Beer picks us up first at the 1st. That's out number 3. So now we have 0 for the Herbisaurs at the top of the 6th. Beer Keggers are coming in with Mater Henke, Mr. Reliable, 1 for 2 today. So that's not so reliable, but he seems to have been there when we really need him.
Number 73, the center fielder.
18 RBIs Reliable has. He's got to be leading the league in RBIs. That's the first one coming way high for ball number 1. That one he's going to take a slice at, and somehow Superman, second base, snags that out of the air for out number 1. 30 Kurt's up next. He smashes that first one. Line drive foul. Strike number 1, 1 away. That goes out to center, drops in, doesn't drop in. The center fielder slides in on his back. Snags that one out of the air. So Dirty Kurt's out of here. No gift card to Best Buy for you, buddy. Now Clipper Flipper's up next. He smashes that one just over second base. He's on first. That brings up the Silver Fox. Old man, Silver Bomber. I keep saying silver. I don't want to say white because then that could sound weird. That goes foul. 2 outs. Runner on first. He reaches up for that one. That's going to come in shy for out number 3. And that's going to do it for the bottom of the 6th with the score Herbisaurs 0 and the Beer Keggers 2. Henry Hamster, Mr. Wide-Eye, will be up first for the Herbisaurs. Morton Stanberg's on deck.
Now batting, number 10, the third baseman.
This guy just looks like he's surprised to be out there as a baseball player. But make no mistake, he can do some damage if this ball gets put right where he wants it. He scratches his butt. Here's the next pitch. That's going foul for 1-1. Here's the next pitch. That gets smashed out to Reliable. Pick it up. He'll fire it off to second. And the runner gets on first. The Super Surprise makes it to first. That brings up Morgan Stanberg, who has 2 RBIs, 0 for 2 in this game so far. He throws that one and is just a little high for ball number 1. He swings and misses at that one. 1-1. That one he pops straight up in the air. Kapowie can't get to it as it goes out in the stands. So let's try one of these famous fork balls here. And that was a piece of cake as it bounces off the stands. So that's 1-2 with no outs. Runner on first. A little bit high on the outside. That's going to be ball number 2. 2-2. They're stealing second. Sidewinder tries to get there in time, but doesn't make it as usual. But now we got a wide eye. Was probably surprised that they're out there and took off to second. We have a full count. Runner on second. That gets hit out foul. And I got to be careful here. If I throw a fastball, it's got to be in there. But we'll just let him keep hitting strikes or fouls, which are strikes. And that catches him looking. He's gone. He is out of here. Out number 1. Wide eyes on second. And here we got Rojas, who's a decent batter. They're stealing third. That gets popped straight up in the air. Reliable's all over this. As soon as he catches it, I believe they're going to run to third. So Mater hangs it and sends it out to third. Doesn't make it in time. They're safe on third. So Henry Hamster advances to third after stealing a couple times. Milo Stewart's up next. 1 for 3 today with 2 away. Runner on third in scoring position. The first one gets tipped up out into the dugout. So it's now out of play. Strike number 1, 2 away. That one gets popped out. That's going out the dirty Kurt. And he does pull that in. Out number 3. No runs scored on the top of the 7th for the Herbisaurs. Stretch out real quick. Okay, time's up. Beer Keggers are up to bat with Sidewinder Kapowie coming up first, who is 50-50 today.
Now batting, number 13.
So Zebrena's favorite player is up. Last time I said that, he hit it right into the mitt of somebody, but then again, so has everybody else today. The first one comes in just a little low, but in the strike zone. Kapowie does hit that one. That's a floater. That's out by the shortstop, close to center field. Jose Stu's up next.
3, the pitcher.
Here's our pitcher of the day so far. Stu, oh, that's a beautiful smash. That's going to be off the wall, and that puts Stu on second base. We probably could have made it to third. We don't need to injure our starting pitcher by trying to get him there. We'll let him hang out on second base as Big Slick, 3 for 3 today, is up next. That's going to second. That gets caught, so that means Stu has to get back to second in time, which he does.
Now batting, number
Here's
1,
Woodsman. 1 for 3 today, a double and RBI. Has 7 RBIs on the season. And that goes right out there. That's going to be another RBI onto the record of the Woodsman as he holds up on second. Doesn't push his luck to third again. So he does have another RBI, another run on the board for the Beer Keggers as Mariana Beer is up. I didn't see what she's doing today. She's like everybody else has kind of had a rough day. That's going to go foul as it curves out of bounds just before it could have got out as a homer. He lets that one coming on the inside for ball number 1. 2 away, runner on second. He does reach up for that one. That was a mistake. That's going to get picked up by Rojas out at right field. So that puts the Beer Keggers at the bottom of the 7th with only 1 run inside or out on the field, I should say, while the Herbisaurs then Fiona Clark up to the plate, who's 0 for 2 today.
Now batting, number 20, the catcher.
All right, so Stu, who's still hanging in there after 8 innings. Well, this is his 8th inning. After 7 innings, I guess you would say, against Clark. So hopefully it doesn't fall apart here because it really only takes a couple of runs and this game would go down the toilet. So here's Stu. Are you serious? So that one was too high, apparently. And that was ball number 1. So 1-1. That's 2-1 now, with that one being a ball. You can hear the audience has been pleased about that. That one goes out to Beer. fires that off to first, and that's out number 1.
Now batting, number 31, the pitcher.
The pitcher, Jim. She's still the pitcher? I didn't think she's been the pitcher this whole time. I thought maybe she got moved. Anyways, she's up now. Does have some pretty good contact. Not a lot of power. So Stu's going to hit that one in just a little low. Or throw that. Not actually going to hit it. She's going to throw it. So here we got Woodsman picking it up at first. Fired off to first. There you go. Out number 2. Trey Fagler, 888. How you doing? Thanks so much for joining us. We're just doing a little baseball here on the Beer Sunday, or Easter with beer. Let's see. We have 2 outs. 0-3 is the score. No runners on. The Stews now facing Annabella Stokes, their first baseman. First pitch comes in a little bit high for ball number 1. That catches her swinging 81 miles an hour for strike number 1. 1-1, 2-away. He does reach down. She picks that one up. Beer's running out there. Probably pull his shins getting there. Pulls that one for out number 3. And at the top of the 8th, the Herbisaurs still have not scored a run yet. Thank goodness. And the Beer Keggers are sending Mr. Reliable, who's 1 for 3 today. Not so reliable again. He's coming up first to bat.
Now batting number 73, the center fielder.
So he does have a homer from last game, if you remember. No, was that last game or the one before? I think it was last game. Bunch of RBIs, though. That's going to come in as a strike as it rolls. It falls down just before it comes into this batter's box. He hits that one over the first baseman's head. That's a perfect placement. He makes it to second. I'm going to send him to third. I mean, I don't know if he's going to make it, but he's going. Slides, spikes up, makes it into third base. That's a triple for Mr. Reliable.
69, the right
Here's Dirty
fielder.
Kurt. 10 RBIs himself, 1 for 3 on the game. He does reach down. He bounces that past the shortstop, who fires it off the first. He's long gone. He's still thinking about Best Buy and losing his privileges. So he's out number 1 as Reliable comes in and taps the home plate for another score, 4-0. And here's Nail Clipper Flipper, who swings out that, puts that in the pocket. So that's a base hit for Flipper.
Now batting number 71, the shortstop.
Old Man Beer's up. Flipper's on first. 1 away. Beer smashes that, hopefully in the pocket as well. That does go in the pocket. It rolls. Well, that's going to be a double for Beer, who's still struggling to get the second. He lands in time. Now Clipper Flipper decides to go home and taps the plate, slides in the plate just in time for another score. The Beer gets a double RBI as Sidewinder Kapowie is up, as that one goes a little too high for ball number 1. That comes in on the inside for ball number 2. Beer's getting a healthy lead off second. That one rolls off the ground. So that's 3 balls, no strikes. And Sidewinder gets walked. Sometimes it's better just to let them get walked and swing at it.
Number 3.
Now we got a runner on first and second. You got Beer, Kung Fu on second. You got that one's coming in low ball. It looked like a strike to me, but Stu didn't swing at it. He does swing at that. That's going out to left. Beer makes it back just in the nick of time. Sidewinder makes it back to first. So now there's 2 away. This is the last at-bat here for the Beer Keggers at the top of the 9th. There's Big Slick, who hits that out. We're going to send that. We're going. All right. Okay. What? I don't know what happened there. So that run did not count for us. Or did it? 6-0 as we head into the top of the 9th inning here. The last chance for the Herbisaurs to do anything. Dolph Stakes up first.
Now batting, number 38, the center fielder.
0 for 3 today. And this would be big for him if he got a homer here. Stu's still in there, believe it or not. So Stu comes in with ball number 1 at the top of the 9th. Oh, pushed the wrong button. They thought I wanted to sub him, but I'm like, no, let him play. Let him finish out the game. So Stu picks it up on first, and he fires it off to Bojack at first. That's out number 1.
number 21.
Top of the ninth,
The
one
first
away.
baseman.
The Beer Keggers have a 6-run lead at 6-0. With 2 outs remaining for the Herbisaurs. Try to get some runs in. The first pitch drops in as a strike. Number 1. That goes a slider. That goes out to Nail Clipper Flipper, who fires it off the first. That makes it the first in time, so that's out number 2.
Number 10. The
So
third
here's old
baseman.
Wide-Eye Henry Hamster, who the whole game rests on his shoulders, but he's been here before, and he's messed with us plenty of times. That one comes in as a ball, maybe a little too high. He sends in the second one. That's also a ball, which does not make the management happy. What? All right, so now he was going to walk somebody. Except that one was a strike, because we had to fire it right in the middle to make old Wide-Eye think about what he's doing today. That comes in the corner of the plate for strike number 2. Full count, 2 outs. This is potentially the very last pitch of the game. So, since Wide-Eye has been a little intimidated, I don't know. This is what we're doing. Here's a fastball. He hits that right to the Woodsman on first, who struggles to get over, taps the bag for out number 3 as the Beer Keggers go 5-0 on season number 2 on Easter Sunday. No runs scored. Their first shutout ever for the Beer Keggers. 0-6 is the final score. 2 homers. Actually, 3 homers by the Herbisaurs. Wait, no, that's hits. Wait, what? The Herbisaurs only had 3 hits today? Wow. So at 31 at-bats, they had 3 hits. That's Jose Stu pitching that makes that so amazing. The home runs for the Beer Keggers are 0. However, that's a near a perfect game for Jose Stu, comes in at number 1. The Woodsman comes at number 2, and Big Slick Brandon Balls is in third. So that's my first shutout. 3-hit shutout. That's amazing. All right. So let's look at the time here. Let's take around and look around and see if we're going to keep going. If we're going to keep playing baseball. See, let's take a look here. 1 player on OCRP. So that probably wouldn't be very fun to go in there right now. And then I'm looking here. Got looking at the thing. That guy dancing on Blame Arlo's Discord by a pool. With no shirt on, by the way. Okay, so I guess we're going to continue with another game, unless you guys want to do something else. So let's simulate this while I get a drink of water. Wow. That one went long. 17-10 was the final of that one. There's a shutout there for the Shark Teeth. It looks like the Moon. Wait, no, who's playing who? We don't see yet, do we? What happened?